Social Studies Chapter 3. How do we decide what is good for society? Before I begin, this is going to be a summary of all the examples that you can use for your essays. Do drop a follow and drop a like. It will really help the channel and the account a lot. So, first of all, challenges. First, we're going to talk about challenges, okay? Differing needs and interests, okay? So, what are two different needs? Survival-related needs and well-being related needs. What are survival-related needs, okay? For example, it's like the basic needs like water, food, home and healthcare, basically your house and everything. Basically, you need this for survival. If you don't have this, you'll die. Like physically die, not mentally, physically, okay? Well-being related needs is more about mental, okay? Difference between people is, for example, for you, for maybe if you are employed, your well-being related needs may not be a job. For me, if I'm unemployed, I may need a job. Or for example, if you have lower income, you may need like government subsidies and all these things. These are well-being related needs, okay? Next is interest. Interest is completely unrelated to your survival. You don't need it to survive. It's, for example, it's more of like a very extravagant item, okay? For example, direct and indirectly, they are indirect and directly for related to fulfill your needs. For example, private and public transport for work. If you're gonna go to work, okay, private or public transport. You can take public transport, you also can take private transport. Taking public transport, you won't die. You get what I mean? Okay, so you won't die if you don't have the access to the service. Okay, next is differing priorities. This is more of government different priorities. Okay, they are always unequal sharing of costs. Okay, so different actions will lead to different impacts for different groups. What does it mean? It means I do something, I implement this policy, it will ultimately lead to a different another impact to another group of people, but it will benefit one group, but of course it must benefit one group, right? Because the government won't do things without its benefits, right? So it will benefit one group, but it will also unintentionally disadvantage another group, and this is what we are studying. Okay, it's usually unintended impacts. Okay, and it makes it challenging to decide what is good for society, because one group of society says they want this, the other group says they don't want that, they want this. Okay, so it's very confusing and it's very hard to debate. That's why you have government parliamentary debates, right, to see which one is a better stand, okay, which is a better option. Okay, so one example is the CIL, which is a cross island line. Okay, it's basically Singapore has this nature reserve in the middle of right smack in the middle of Singapore. It's either the line goes through the center of the central reserve, or it goes a skirting route, which is a longer route, and many houses will have to be displaced. Okay, it's either this route or it cuts in the middle. Cutting in the middle, many environmental advocates will basically go against it, because it will affect the nature, because this whole area here is your natural reserve. Okay, so another example is expressway to increase the traffic flow or improve traffic flow, but it will increase noise pollution for those people who are maybe sleeping in on a Saturday or Sunday. You know what I mean? Yeah. Next is, how do you manage this trade-off? How do you make a decision between two or more things that we cannot have because of limited resources? Just the cross island line project is just another example. Okay, I mean it's the same example as just now. Okay, next, this is more of the essay kind of question. Okay, principles shaping good governance. So maybe the essay will ask you, good leadership is more important than meritocracy in shaping good governance, or anticipating change and staying relevant is more important than stake for everyone and opportunities for all in good governance. What are your views, or something like that? Essay will ask this kind of questions. This is more of an essay type question. Okay, so you want to open your minds, open your ears, and listen. Okay, so good leadership is basically capable, honest, incorruptible. Memorize this phrase. Explain along the lines of capable, honest, and incorruptible. Okay, and then the example you should give in your essay should be Mr. Lim Kim San, okay, which is the HDB's first chairman from 1960s to 1963. Increased construction of low-cost housing in 3 years, or 3 years or more. Okay, a bit like 3 years. Okay, he built 26,000 flats. Okay, and you check HDB voluntarily for 4 years without salary. Okay, then you explain, because this gains the trust of citizens, leads to political stability. This is a good leader. Why good leader? Because it's effective. What? 26k flats. You think you can build 26k flats, man? Cannot. What? Right? So it's effective, and then you must show the quality. And this is a good governance part. Next part of the essay will be stake for everyone. Okay, opportunities for all. A say in decision making. Willing to be involved in good of society. The good of society basically just means things that benefit the society. Okay, and then they're willing to express their concerns. Citizens know the best because they are experienced it. So in other words, basically everybody has a chance to participate in decision making processes. Everybody as a stakeholder. Okay, so one example is the SG Together movement 2019. Singaporeans encouraged to partner with government and share and act on their shared future. Another example is Fight Against Diabetes, which is a citizens jury by Health Promotion Board. Okay, so 76 Singapore citizens and PR participate to give recommendations to MOH to how to improve the diabetes situation. Okay, next factor is anticipate change and stay relevant. One example is climate change. Okay, so basically to explain, just need to talk about looking forward, taking sound actions early, and then explain along those lines. So these explanations that I give you over here within the brackets, they are not sufficient. You must explain with your own words. What do you mean explain with your own words? Basically just yap and just bullshit your way through. Okay, minimize threat and maximize opportunities for Singapore. Okay, this just memorize this explanation for essay and add your own words. Basically, in other words, what I'm telling you is that this whatever I give you is insufficient. You have to add your own words, meaning I want to see you like extend my points and build on my points, asking the 5W1H. Okay, and then keep on asking, and then eventually try to hit at least probably 8 lines inside within the essay, within the O-level paper itself, the script. Okay, the example you should give is budget of $5 billion set aside for coastal and flood protection. I'm pretty sure this was announced by Prime Minister Lee Hsien Loong, the previous Prime Minister. Okay, to meet the risk of rising sea levels, because why Singapore is an island state. Yeah, can link this to geography. Island state. Okay, last but not least, practicing meritocracy. Memorize this explanation. Okay, distributes opportunities so that we can climb the social ladder. Okay, people are rewarded according to their effort, not dependent on the race, religion, or family background. Okay, one example is just to name any EduSave award. So if you have gotten any EduSave award, it'll be easy for you because you will understand. Okay, you have experienced it firsthand. Okay, and just name any. It can be ECA award, it can be EduSave Good Progress, it can be any kind of award. Okay, so EduSave Good Progress award, top 10% of the cohort in terms of improvement, academic performance to demonstrate good conduct. Just yap your way through. Okay, social studies is about understanding instead of hardcore memorizing. But those who cannot understand will have to hardcore memorize. So you just explain your way through. You basically use this point lines as your starting reference, then you explain your way through. And also don't worry, essay questions, they usually have resources like photographs to help you, but usually we don't use those resources, like just behind the questions. Okay, so that's chapter 3 of revision. I'll be doing chapter 4 and chapter 5 if this video does well. Also do follow Editor Works, because I'm a JC tutor that is teaching bio, chem, math, e-math, a-math, and social studies and geography. Okay, so if you find this helpful, don't drop a follow and drop a like. Thank you.